Bite my tongue? Never. See, what they don't know is they're tuning in to DBYT Podcast, and I'm just discovering the world around me.
Tyesha, I love you.
I feel like God is telling you to keep going.
You quit on yourself, you really down bad.
Tune in Wednesdays at 7 o'clock Eastern Time.
Welcome all to another episode of DBYT. I'm your host, Tyesha, and today we have Clarence here with us to discuss trauma. So from the last time that we spoke, you have anything new that's happening in your life?
For the most part, it don't be too much going on. I have actually joined in on business with my friend Brittany in a rental business. Right now we have OSS, so One Stop Shop Rentals. So it's like a Revo spin right now. So we're trying to work on that, and also just really trying to get back into the things I need to do to get right. So yeah.
What do you need to do to get right? What's going on? You good?
Like, you know, when you just really being distracted and distracting yourself.
Okay. I feel that.
Just to get back to where you need to be.
Well, congratulations on the rental things, and I hope everything goes well for you. You know, pretty bright,
Thank you.
I'm pretty sure you can handle it all. To kick everything off, I just want to let the new people know why we tackle some of the topics that we do on the show real quick. And this is a space where people can, laugh and joke, have a good time, but it's also like a healing outlet for many people. So the goal is to have these, uncomfortable yet necessary conversations so that we can build a community that can help one another, because I believe in like the village, and together we can grow and develop into the people that we're meant to be. So I just wanted to get that out there for the people who are, new to listening and probably don't understand the style of our show right now. But we're going to kick it off with, what is trauma? So Clarence, how would you define trauma?
I would define trauma as a situation, an occurrence, and or when I say situation and event, separate those. But that would affect the way that you communicate, physically act, with the outside world.
Definitely. I do want to dive into that a little bit. When I think about trauma, I think about like the traumatic part of the experience. Cause like some people, I think everybody go through experiences, but it's those special traumatic experiences that make like a difference, because it's on an extreme scale where it's impacting like you physically or mentally, like maybe death or like car accidents or sexual assault, or even something as I'm not going to say simple, but something more common like bullying from like a young age. So people can grow up and like have different mindsets, like you were speaking on, just off the fact of bullying or something like that. So like, how many types of trauma can you name?
It's like, physical, emotional, sexual. There's also psychological. I feel like I'm missing some words that I'm just not putting together, but it's some more. Might be some more.
Hey, and that's okay, because I did a little research before this, because I want to let people know, like, because some people discredit others' experiences, and it doesn't have to be extreme to somebody else for it to be traumatic to you. So I did want to kind of go over some that I found. Like, they have different names, so they might be similar to the ones that you mentioned, but I think they've like more of a umbrella term. So I found acute trauma, which is a result from exposure to a single overwhelming event, like a car accident, natural disaster, things of that nature. A repetitive trauma is things that keeps happening to you, which is like, it's not funny. Why am I laughing? I let me tell you, before I even get into that, there has been so many people that's like, Tyesha, do you have like a nervous tick? Like, is laughing like your coping mechanism? And I'm like,
me too.
I don't even know. Like I've been finding myself doing it so much lately, and I'm just like, dang, do I laugh when I'm uncomfortable? Like, so guys, this is a serious topic. I just want to let y'all know. It's just I get nervous sometimes, so bear with me. But yeah, something that can happen chronically can be repetitive trauma, like receiving medicines for like an illness that could mess with you psychologically. Complex trauma results from multiple chronic and prolonged overwhelming traumas, like, oh my gosh, like family violence, like if you live in a domestic home, like going back to that every day. And like in a way, I guess it's not bullying, but what would you call it if it's happening at home? Do you get bullied at home?
I mean, I know what you mean, because if you have siblings, you're gonna get tossed around a little bit.
Right.
But you can get bullied in your house. You can get bullied in your household.
Okay, yeah. Y'all listen to what he's saying. He know what he's talking about. You also have developmental trauma, which results from early onset exposure to ongoing or repetitive trauma. So it's like, I guess in this realm, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Like it happens more often. And this one actually includes like physical abuse, sexual assault, emotional abuse. So it just adds more to the previous trauma that could have happened. I don't know if I'm gonna say this right, but vicarious trauma, it says it creates a change in the service provided, resulting in an empathetic engagement with a client's patient traumatic background. I'm gonna have to keep going because I don't even know what that means. It occurs when an individual who was not an immediate witness to the trauma of okay. I probably just cut off my own self. But I'm thinking it's like, you know how we're Black and we feel the pain from other Black people when they're being done wrong. Yeah. That is I think that's what this is. That's what it sounds like to me. So also they have under this one historical trauma, which is a cumulative emotional and psychological wounding over a lifespan of generation. So that slavery, war, you're right. So those sound kind of similar to me, but yeah, y'all make sure y'all go look it up and educate yourselves. And then we have the last term on here called intergenerational trauma, which describes a psychological or emotional effect that can be experienced by people who live with people who experience the trauma. Okay, so them last three just sound all the same to me, but that's the passing of trauma through generations. So yeah, that's trauma, guys. That's a good start. My third question today for you is, what can going through a traumatic experience look like for people who have experienced them? So like, what can happen to people as they, like, after they go through the experiences?
I mean, from personal experience and also like just observing people, after a traumatic event, you might develop some form of illness, mental illness, I would say. You could actually get physically sick too. Like, I want to say something more so of the vicarious trauma, or like something where it's like chronic trauma. Let's say it is physical abuse. You can get physically sick from that. You might mentally go into a space where it's like, okay, depending on what is happening, you could get triggered. So you'll start having triggers that would result in you, maybe, I would say, like not eating. I'm gonna use that as an example. Or you will not like stop eating or stop really caring about yourself. Yeah. So I mean, everything kind of beats down on itself. Something else, I mean, you could kind of notice a change in body language too. Like, I notice it slightly in myself sometimes. I might be walking, just might not be the best days, and I'll kind of look more so at the ground, like head positioning while you just moving, sitting down. Comfortability as well would change depending on the situation or the trauma that it is. But those are some few examples off the top of my head that I can think of.
And you know I'm coming with you. You know I'm coming there with you. So I also had some examples for this question, which was an inability to sleep, developing aggressive behavior, a lack of trust, irritability, and avoidance. And personally, out of those, I have been through a few things myself, but I had, like, for a while in my life, I had got aggressive. I would be irritable, and I'd be avoidant. Like, I would try to, I don't like confrontation really. So if at all costs to keep me sane, I try to not remind myself of what happened to me, because it just makes me feel like a victim. And I hate feeling like that. You know what I mean? So it's like, cause like throughout my life, I was seeing, or at least I felt like I was seeing that self-image, right? Yeah. I felt like others saw me as a strong individual. And for me, I would say, like, if I came out into the world and all of a sudden I changed, I felt like I'd be letting people down. And it sounds funny out loud, because it's like, dang, like I care about how other people, like, real life, like I don't want people to worry about me. So like, even if things happen to me, like 9 times out of 10, I don't even, either I delay when I tell people or I don't tell them at all. But you know, for things like this is important. So I feel like I can open up a little bit more to help others. But yeah.
It's so interesting that you said that, though. And you know, I know we're talking about trauma, but it's interesting that you said that, because I was just talking to somebody about that today, just about how we perceive everybody else's, like, perception of us to create our own, which is actually a thing. But I mean, in my brain, it is a way where you can get the self-image from yourself, but you also truly do. We truly do get an image from other people. So also, even with traumas and the things, after effects of it, that could also be why we're seeing that same thing, you know, kind of done to us, and that emotion that it makes us feel. And it's like, do you feel like this? I'm trying to show you how I feel. So that could also, you know, be a reason why too.
Exactly. It's always funny when I speak to you, because it's like the energies in the world always prep you for when we speak.
Because when you said it, I was like, bro, I just got to be talking about it.
That is crazy. The energy always messing with us. Like, seriously, I ain't even gonna cap. But yeah, man, it's like recently I had went to I guess you could call it an event, and they were breaking down the differences between self-image and self-esteem. And because like a lot of people will believe like self-image is how you see yourself, but in actuality it's not. It's how you think people perceive you, while self-esteem is actually how you see yourself and how you feel about yourself. So yeah, that's the difference, guys. If you don't believe us, you can always Google it. Ooh, okay. So do you believe that trauma can affect you in more than one area of your life at a time?
Wow. Simultaneously at one time?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and why do you say that?
There is one traumatic event that I have been through, and I also would recognize it as a developmental trauma and a chronic. Okay. But my fault. I'm just reading because I actually was taking some notes.
Aww, I love that.
A developmental and the acute trauma. Okay. So the acute trauma is weird because it triggered so many other ones, and that's why I want to also say chronic, because it was a stressful event, but it was another stressful event I was a part of. So it kind of just literally one event burst into like a lot of the rest of them, just based off, the things that was happening and what was going on. So I developed real bad anxiety. I was having real bad panic attacks. I had to get on some medication. I ain't like that medication. It was making me feel sleepy. So I had to, really had to work on the stuff myself. So even later on in life, it still kind of bothered me due to the fact of like, okay, it took me through so much to get literally through that one experience. And I didn't even realize how like I don't even want to say how strong I was, but I really want to say like how numb I was to the whole thing. And that's why it's like now it'll kind of boom, 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 like pop up. I mean, now I'm kind of a lot over it, but it almost didn't hit until at least 20 to get over it. And it happened, and I really want to say like 18.
Yeah,
17 maybe, like in high school. So, you know, so I want to say, yeah.
just the like, okay, so as many people, like I have been through things too, and I'm gonna bring it up now. I was gonna bring it up later, but okay. I am a reliver. I don't know if that's even a word, but I relive events when things are like you said, like triggers or like a domino effect type thing. And I didn't even notice it either until this past semester. I had, I was around this person, and every time they tried to get like close to me, it triggered. And I was like, I don't even know why this is happening, because it happened like some years ago. And it's like, I guess I hadn't had something similar like that happening until that moment. And it was like, I was like breaking down. I was like, yo, this is too much for me. Like, I don't even want to like be around this person, because it's like, it's bringing up old memories of somebody else. It was so weird. And I was just like, every time I get around this person, it's like, it's just triggering. I'm like, I don't know if we can be friends, because you look like, I don't know what, like, nice person and all, but you're making me feel weird. On some
and it
stuff.
can be like that. It can really be like that.
Yeah. Also, I wanted to say that while trauma can affect you in different areas, like you having trust issues or getting close to people, or like myself, I isolate myself. And I've recognized that, which is a weird thing for me, because like I told you with my friend, I would stop going around them because I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but whatever voodoo you got going on, it's making me act up like in the worst way. And I don't like that. Now, for some people, it can even lead to like self-harm when they go through these traumatic experiences. I know some people who tell me like, oh, I either burn myself or I cut myself or I do like, you know, self-harm things because it doesn't feel as bad as that experience, which is like wild to me. So now we're going to transition into the personal experience with trauma. So as we already know, but I'm going to ask anyway, have you ever been through anything traumatic?
Yes.
Would you be comfortable with sharing those things?
You know, I actually had a talk with my aunt. She's a psychologist as well. And she told me to, you know, make sure when I'm speaking, make sure it doesn't trigger others. Because the same way how you just said. So I'm trying to make sure I'm thinking of something that's not triggering to anybody else. But, you know, I mean, something that's common, and it may not be so common in men, so I guess I'll get on that. Sexual assault, like, you can feel violated as a man, and that's, when you feel violated, I don't care if you're supposed to like it. I don't care if you know it's gonna look weird, and you be like, I ain't like this, though. You know, I might have looked the woo, but it, you know, didn't feel right, didn't feel comfortable, you know. Yeah, that shit, man, yeah.
Like that's for real. Because I think people have gotten comfortable with letting society tell them how to feel about certain things, and they forget that you're actually human. Like, it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, or I'm gonna just say other, because I'm not gonna list everything, but it's okay to feel like a regular person, because that stuff is violating. It's not a comfortable situation, and it makes me nervous to know like that females know how it feels like, because I would think that they go through it a little bit more than men, but you really never know, because of the fact, like you just said, people expect men to just like it and go with the flow, because supposedly it's in their nature. You supposed to like it.
It's like, what if I'm an intellectual?
You know, right? Like, it's honestly dumb to me that people believe that men have to be like predators, or not even predators, maybe that's the wrong word, but like seekers of women all the time and want that sexual attention all the time. Like, sweetheart, that's probably not normal.
Like, chill. Are you know, do you got the Jezebel spirit in you? You're out. Exactly. For real.
And then the thing about it is, for the women who do like okay, here's an example that it's been lingering in my mind, because it's like, when a man wants to have sex with a woman and the woman says no, she expects that man to respect her decision. But if roles were reversed and she wants to have sex with him and he says no, she feels either rejected or something, but still tries to pursue it. And it's weird to me. Like, if you want him to respect you, you got to respect him as well.
And it's, I mean, you know, it's special cases, because some people are weird, and I, you know where it be told no from the female's perspective. But from somebody like me, you know, that don't always excite me, because I feel like, especially when the emotions aren't there, or, you know, sometimes it just sometimes it just ain't there. So I might kind of zone out to the point where it's like, okay, it's like, you know, you getting what you want, because I'm not even here no more. We done turned into a whole new, you know, I gave you what you wanted. Mm-hmm. This is what you wanted anyways, right? Because we can't sit down and have a conversation, right? So since you wanted to, you know, this little in and out, you get that, and then bye. But don't, you know, you can't feel a certain type of way when I'm starting to, you know, dislike your actions, or, you know, you might touch me and I might, you know, kind of, like, what's going on? Like, now you wondering why I'm being triggered by little things when before that wasn't it, because, you know, I'm trying to get to know who you are, and you showing me something that's like, okay, you can find that anywhere, but I'm trying to, you know.
Yeah. I don't know. Now, speaking from that same perspective, I'm gonna spin it a little bit. I heard you say basically that when they initiate that they want sex or so have you, I believe that they have been through some situations that's what that was expected. So they developed a trend in their mind, like, for him to like me, I have to have sex with him. And I think that's common, because there was a time in my life where I was like, that's what I felt like people just wanted from me. And I mean, depending on who you were, it was like, maybe I should like kiss him, or maybe I should do that. You know what I mean? And it's like, maybe that's not what he wants, Ty. Like, maybe that's not what he wants. But that was a sit down with myself where I had to be like, you know, like, maybe every man isn't the same, and you just gotta, you know, relax a little bit, because sometimes you get caught up in like feeling like, dang, nobody really likes me unless I talk freaky, or if I talk like this, or if I do that, and it kind of gets to be habitual because it's happening so much. So it's I don't know, it's like you just want people to like you, and it's like that's what I always say this, it seems like social media very much influences what we do or what we say or how we speak to each other. So it's like, oh, if I do this, they guarantee gonna like me, and that's not true, guys. It's really not true.
It's not.
There are some genuine people, like you can tell when somebody just wants to. You can tell when somebody just want to have sex with you versus them wanting to get to know you, but it's up to you to actually take the time to see that.
I mean, because honestly, to back that up as well, I have actually been with somebody like that. When I lost my virginity, so it's like something that I notice patterns, and I'll be up on it. I did ask, and I'm like, hey, do you feel like that's something that you have to do to, kind of show me that you like me? And I forgot how I got to that conclusion. It was just how it went down and why and where, and it's just like, hold on. This ain't the big magical moment everybody was talking about and we was thinking about. So I'm like, something gotta be off.
Great.
Like, I asked the question and, she was like, yeah. And then, come to find out it was a result of trauma. So it was like, dang, I can relate to you on that subject. So it built a stronger relationship. So I definitely do say you know, it's not all about the past, but I do recommend people to, you know, let people know some things. You don't have to let them know everything, but when you know that person is really there for you, you might gain a friend out of something you thought was going to be, you know, something else. So that might go further than what it could have been. So
most definitely.
Sometimes be open with your trauma too, you know, kind of share it, because when it kind of interlocks, you can also lock it up. And it help you lock that trauma up to where it needs to be.
Yeah. It's been times where like I'm talking to my friend and he finding things out about me. He's like, yo, like, why wouldn't you tell me this like before? Like, I would have approached something differently if I would have known. And it's like, I have this thing of not wanting people to feel bad for me, that I wait to tell people things because of the fact, like, I don't want you to think like, oh, she's such a delicate flower, like she's not gonna be able to take it, or she's gonna overreact, or like, I don't want you to have a perception of me before I can actually show you like I'm slick, okay? You know what I'm saying? I'm fine for the most part. Like I deal with it in the way that I deal with it. And when I feel like we have connected enough to a different level, I can open up to you and let you know like, hey, well, this happened. But at the end of the day, I'm still Tyesha. Like I'm trying not to disconnect myself, because once I disconnect, it's like, it's a whole nother person.
Yeah, definitely. It's weird only when you're dealing with trauma, because everybody has their own reaction, their own responses and things like that. So it really, with me, I use it as parables almost to try to help people. So I get what you're saying when you say you don't want everybody to know, because that's me too. Because it's like, I know when I tell y'all this, y'all gonna be like, oh my gosh, like you really go through stuff? Because I swear it's people who think I don't even get mad. And it's like, for real? Like, y'all think I'm a robot or something? Like, they just really see me in such a positive light that it's like, he just can't do no wrong. And it's like, no. Please don't get it confused. And it's like, don't get that confused either with me never having the times of, you know, low points and times of no joy, because we all do. It's just how you come up, you know, deal with it and come through. You have to.
I did want to just bullet point real quick some of the incidents that I've been through when I was like in elementary school. I don't know if you remember this, but our car had got caught on fire as we backed out of the driveway, and like my little brother was like kind of stuck in the backseat, and that was weird. Like I still, as an adult, I still remember the whole thing. Like all we did was literally back out the driveway. We were in front of our house, and I seen smoke coming from, I'm gonna sound so dumb, it's not the dashboard, but where all the stuff is, where all the information's at.
Okay. You're right though. You're right.
Okay, good. I seen the smoke, and I was like, me, like the car, like smoking. And like, oh shoot. Yeah. We all trying to get out, because me and my two brothers in the car, my dad obviously, and my little brother is obviously younger than me, and he's in the back seat, and we trying to get him out. And because I don't think he was understanding like, hey, the car is literally about to burn. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because he's a child. So it was like, that was an experience. That was crazy. I'm not going to go too deep into the next one, but losing people due to unfortunate medical reasons. I was in a car accident last year. That was crazy. I had very bad PTSD from that. And it was like the area that it happened in would make me kind of cringe and like relive. Yes. I know I don't talk to the person anymore who caused the accident. We ain't on that. And also, oh boy. And for like the first few months after it, I did not like getting in cars. I wouldn't ride with people a lot unless I absolutely had to, because it was like, I don't want that to happen to me again, because I hate not being in control as is. Like, not on no control freak type thing, but I hate not being able to control the situation, because I feel like I would have done it differently. And that was hard. That was my first car accident, actually. And it's just like, it's a whole mess. Like, I don't ever want to be in a car accident ever again. But those are my top 3. As you went through your traumatic experience, how did it make you feel?
Oh, Okay, so I have been through some. I ain't gonna say recently, but is that 2019?
Mm-hmm.
No, that was 2020. I got into a car accident too, and that was my first car accident, and I know how that feels. So it's like going through it. I don't know. Like, it's weird. It's almost like you're on a roller coaster with no seatbelt. So it's like, yeah, this is like, you know, an experience that you know after the fact you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, like, you know, like what's going on, but it's just like, I don't know. I really just felt like I was about to die. I don't know why.
Oh my gosh, yes. You know,
that's trigger warning, but I just really, that's like the first thing that just hits you like, okay, we finna be upside down. We just finna be the worst way. And it was crazy because we weren't, you know, like the car, you flipped on the right side, we was finna get hit. You know, it was really a whole mess out there.
Yeah.
And, you know, people did get hurt. Like, people really did get injured. And, I still don't, I'm not sure of the status. But, you know, just going through something like that. And also with my sister, and me being the oldest too, it just going through something like that, it's like you said, it's like almost like I'm not in control of this at all. But that also opened my eyes at the same time to understand that, hey, you are not in control of this. Some stuff can happen and you can prevail through that. And, you know, that can be your story to let somebody else know, you know, it's okay. Or somebody else might go through that and still feel like that low, like, oh my gosh, I made a huge mistake. Because sometimes that little thought can grow into something so much bigger. And that's also an effect of trauma too, like the way that you see yourself, literally. And, you know, so I kind of used it as an example, also a lesson, and also something that I know I'm not gonna do no more.
You, bro, I
know it's uncontrollable, but I will not do that no more. Like,
if I can avoid it, I will 100% avoid it. Cause like oh my gosh, let me catch it. Cause like I told you, I relive things. Like I see it in my mind right now. So it's like, it's crazy. But y'all, when I tell you, when you're watching a car come at you and you know it's finna hit your side, you just looking like, oh my effing.
Oh, that's different, because it wasn't even like that with me. So I know that's crazy. Like,
I was so scared and I was so shook. I was like, oh my gosh, when it happened, I was just like, yo, I know this ain't just happened to me. I know this just ain't happened to me.
I did relive that though, for real, for a few, at least a month or two, because it was a song even playing. So it's like, if I listen to that song, it's crazy because literally the event itself helped me get through the event. Like, the same song I was listening to that would kind of trigger that whole, like, it almost froze me in time suspended in the event itself, like physically. Yeah. So I was listening to the song one day and I'm like, you know what? Let me fall into it. Like, let me fall into it. Let me not try to resist it. Let me not live in it, but, you know, live with it, because it happened to me. And, you know, that feeling of everything and everything that went on, it kind of was like, okay, I can get over this. I don't know, like, that could be coping mechanism for some people. I mean, I don't know, but, you know, that's why I kind of put that one in there.
It even goes into like not living in fear too.
Yeah, because I mean, I had to. I'm like, I wasn't scared to get in cars or nothing, but it was just like the idea would kind of make me almost be like, okay, because when I had my accident, it wasn't nobody. I lost control of the car, so it's like, literally, I know that thought of like, okay, stuff can happen even when it's like not even supposed to happen. Like, that thought would have just consumed me in the worst way. So I know I had to get over that, like, because there was a lot of also other stuff that was like just happening. And I'm like, why? Like, what? Like, to this day, it's still stuff that be happening. I'm like, for real, me? Like, what did I do? Like, did I do something wrong along the way? But I know it's all a lesson for me to, maybe help somebody else.
Exactly. And that's why we here, man, because literally, like, there's time, like, even me and the person that it happened to, like, they process it differently than I do. But, like, I'm not going to say any names. Oh my gosh, did I just come from Britain? Like, yo, what is going on? But that person, like, after it happened, they didn't even want to talk about it. And that's all I wanted to do, because I hate things consuming me. I hate it being in my head. And I feel like the more I can, speak on it and relieve myself, that's how I feel like I can, like, yo, what happened? Like, X, Y, and Z, do you understand what happened? Do you know what happened? They're like, no. And I'm like, yo, I can tell you what happened if you need that, because I remember everything. So it's like, it's not that I want to make you feel bad, but I want to make sure you understand that what you was doing wasn't it, baby. It wasn't it.
Yeah, especially in the situation.
Yes, it's like it definitely tested me as a person, and I had to look at a lot of things, because there was some unfulfilled promises, and there was unfulfilled everything. Like, I can't even, like, I'm not mad. I want to be clear, just in case this person is listening. I am not mad at you, but I hope you do understand that through the events and through the things that were said, it would not be forgotten, but they can be forgiven. I do want you to understand that, because we don't talk anymore. So I just want to put that out there, because I don't know who listens, but I know people.
Of course.
So, also, for the events that I didn't speak on, those events also made me feel disconnected. Honey, when I tell you, if I'm in the car with somebody and somebody's about to take a left turn, and like they have an option, like yield because of the flashing yellow light or something, I get so terrified. I get terrified when people got all greens and you have the ability to turn left. I can't, it does something to me that my body kind of like trembles and kind of shuts down, or it starts playing from that night, and I'm just like, it hurts. Like, at one point in time, every time I would go to sleep, I'm dreaming about it, and then I wake up crying, and it's just like, I was a mess. I was a hot mess. But yeah, this is definitely it. This is the laughing. That's my coping.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ain't nothing funny about this.
I was just gonna say, because like, hey, this is really not funny at all. But it's like, you know what? We gonna laugh through pain.
You feel me? Laugh to keep from crying. That's probably, bro. That's it.
Yeah.
Why do you think some people handle the same traumatic experience differently?
Like I say, I give everybody a new look every day. Like, I feel like when we wake up, of course we are ourselves, but we're not the same person we were tomorrow if we learned something new yesterday. Mm-hmm. Did that make sense?
Yeah, it honestly does.
Mm-hmm. This is so weird. Okay, I'll talk about this later, but I just got a little click of one of my dreams, and I had a dream last night of hey, what in the neighborhood, and it just boom. I don't know why, but okay. So I feel as if some people handle the same situation differently, only for real, due to the fact of us not being the same as we were yesterday, or literally the same situation can happen, but it's not exactly the same. So it's like, okay, I might take a different approach at it this way, this time. And I hope, that you're not just going through things and laying down, still trying to fight. I know sometimes they get tough and, reoccurring trauma, but that's a trauma that you really have to, you got to fight it as hard as it's fighting you. So you're going to, approach it differently. You're going to look at stuff differently. You're going to be more welcoming to help if you need it and stuff like that. So, I feel like that's why they deal with it differently.
I think that you answered that fabulously. Like, it all boils down to experience and what other people have been through, because like you say, reoccurring traumas versus a one-time trauma, that could be even the slightest difference, or the ability to handle stress, or the amount of support that you received before, during, or after that event. Is literally experience. And I love how you answered that question.
Thank you.
No problem. Have you ever been able to see that someone around you has been through a traumatic incident?
I don't know. I'm not gonna just be bragging on myself, but I feel like I'm really good at communicating. Now, sometimes the way I communicate is like, but it's a because it's almost like a universal, like, understanding thing that I feel like I be putting down sometimes, because you'll get around me, or even, just the vibe sometimes. It's like, I want to set anybody and everybody who sit in front of me, around me, like, I want you to be comfortable, because I want to be comfortable. So I feel like just that energy, just that vibe, it's going to make it to where it's like, okay, I'm comfortable with you, so I'm going to start noticing stuff about you, because when you're comfortable with people, you just start just doing stuff. So, I might notice, somebody watch something on their phone. Like, even if I don't know them, I can just kind of pick up on it to the point where it's like, that's kind of weird. But, it takes 3 times. I'm going to say that. It takes 3 times for me to actually kind of notice something that's triggering, or something that's kind of trauma-like. Because at first, you don't really know. So people play. So, you got to really figure it out. But for the most part, I kind of can tell, because it's very obvious. Like, physically, some people don't respond physically. They kind of get suspended in time, or, days off, or, kind of you shot off for a little bit. So I kind of be peeping a lot of stuff. People don't think they putting down, but I pick it up.
Okay, I remember that song. It was like, break it down, pick it up. It's all in the memory. But I do want to piggyback off of you and talk about, I have a friend, and they don't think that anything is wrong with them. But I'm like, after knowing you for this extended amount of time, something is triggering you, or like not even triggering you. It's like you feel something, but I don't think they want to admit it. Like, and I'm the type of friend that's like, I will help you through it as best as I can, like, as long as you want me to. Like, if you need somebody there for you, I'm your girl. Like, I'm good with that. Like, yes, I go through my own things, but I'm also a healing spirit. And I truly believe that, because I feel like when people come into my life, it literally, like, I can help them, because I can tell that we've grown closer. And crazily enough, we have grown closer through our experiences. Like, we both have like parental differences in our lives. So we bond through that. And like, the way that I interact with people sometimes, like, aside from my podcast, is like I joke a lot, or like we have jokes and we can do that type of thing, like not be offended easily by it. So we bond in a different way, where some people will probably either be overly sensitive or like offended by it. We actually are like, we can joke about our traumatic experiences, because we know how it makes us feel. And like, we seek comfort in each other, even if we don't like to admit it. He gonna listen to this and be like, yo, what are you doing? But yeah, I just wanted to speak on that, because I mean, just like you, I am intuitive as well, and I think it's a gift to be able to help people and see that, recognizing and all that good stuff. So my 5th question and final question for this section, before we move on to the next, is: have you ever forgotten about a traumatic experience that you had gone through?
I think this is I definitely feel like we can put this down as a response, and I'm gonna say yes, because I have a very extensive memory. And I started to notice it now that I'm getting older, and just like the things that, will pop up, or just the things that are there. And it's like some stuff, I know some stuff that happened. I know, but it's like, it's almost like sometimes it's not there. Like I could literally think about it, and it's like from a third person view almost. So it's like, yeah, that happened, but did that really happen to me? Or I kind of disassociate myself from that person who it happened to, because I'm no longer that person, and kind of either learned, grew, or still going through that situation. But that's still not me. It can't be, because me now, I want to let that happen to me. It's kind of, I don't know, it's weird. I feel like, I wouldn't say it's me living in denial of certain things, but I mean, in the hindsight, it kind of is, but it's not. Because it's almost like me separating myself to still make sure that I don't let it stick to me too much.
It's like, it's almost like the trauma part is the anchor. And if you let the anchor down, it'll hold you down, hold you in place. It'll suspend you in that time. And your mind is so powerful that all it wants to do is protect you from being hurt as best as it can. So similarly, I have also forgotten things that has happened to me, that when, like earlier what I was talking about, I had totally disassociated the things that had happened to me until it came up in an unexpected way, that I didn't even know that it would hit me that hard, to be in a place, in a similar place as when it happened, because it wasn't the exact same place, but it was in the same area. And I was like, oh God, like this cannot be it. Like, and it would happen very often, because like I said, that was my friend, and I was like, I like hanging out with you, but geez, you're taking a toll on me. Like, and I know, and you know that they're not a bad person, but it's like, I can't help the way I feel when I'm with you. And right now I feel like I either feel unsafe, and I know you're not gonna hurt me, but it's like, I can't even help not feeling that way. So it was like, I had to really just kind of cut you off. And if you're listening, you probably know who I'm talking about. I'm sorry, kinda, but at the same time, it's me over everything, because I can't.
Hey, and I be telling people, it's good to be selfish sometimes.
Yeah.
Come to you.
Happiness over everything. Janae Aiko.
That too.
So we just gonna leave that where that's at. So we are getting into our final topic of the night, and that is how to cope with it all. So what did you do when you were coping and processing your experiences?
As I referenced before, listening to the music. And I want to kind of expound on that. Music in general is very healing. Sometimes I will actually listen to frequencies or music that would depict a certain frequency. I think it was 543 hertz. I'm not sure, but I would listen to music like that because they said that hertage kind of helps with blood flow and a lot of other stuff. So it's really healing for your body to hear that sound. In that particular instance, when I used the music to help me delve into that memory and that experience, that was more so of something that I don't know if you've seen the Billie Holiday story, but I don't know if you've seen that, but
I haven't.
It's a scene. That's something that I suggest everybody watch, especially people of color. Like, it's something everybody should watch, but people of color should really watch it. Like, open your eyes to, especially people in the South. Like, if you in the South and you chocolate, we looking good, you need to go watch that movie because it's gonna open your eyes to some stuff. But in that movie, she actually was using it wasn't a psychedelic drug, but it was, a drug. And it helped her. It didn't help her do nothing. But during her experience, she would literally relive something that allowed her to sing the song because it would make her relive the hurt and the pain. Because without her doing the drugs, she literally would not sing the song because it hurt her so much. But because she seen it, it kind of put the fuel and the fire behind her to sing the song. So with that being said, sometimes you can use music as therapy, especially if it's like a triggering song. You could kind of use that to kind of play the event against itself by you actually, reliving in that event and, accepting what happened and taking control of it as far as like, I'm gonna make sure that XYZ doesn't happen again. Or like I have a response that now when I get in the car, I cannot go to sleep, or I just won't go to sleep. Like, and I'm a sleepy person. I used to go to sleep dangerously. I'm not just gonna say that, but I used to just go to sleep in the car. And now it's like that's not gonna happen no more. Up under no circumstances, I cannot go to sleep like that no more, just because. And it's like I really feel like because I kind of dealt with it, because at first it was like I would just be up off fear, but now it's up because I can't fear that event, and also just going back there, reliving it, doing it again, and actually knowing and pinpointing what happened. It's like, okay, that was a problem. Cool, I can not do that no more.
While I was researching, they also said that can be a response to trauma as well. Oversleeping or overindulging in activities, whether it's sleeping or eating. And the crazy thing is that it could literally be the exact opposite. You could overly or undereat, basically starving yourself, or like trying to sleep so much that you aren't in the reality of it all, or even staying awake for long extended periods of time just so you don't have to, because like I said, I would dream about my events. So it's like when you go to sleep, it's coming up, and some people try to avoid that so they don't. And it's so crazy how like your mind tries to pick and choose what's best for you just to make you feel at ease. And I too am a sleepy person. Just I just thought I should add that. But yeah, I could literally go to sleep anywhere. At one time in high school, I fell asleep in the shower standing up, like right before school. And next thing you know, you just hear somebody banging on the door like, T, like, what are you doing? And I'm like, you know what? What am I doing?
One thing about me, I'm gonna go to sleep. Like I can't. It's not that I can't help it, because people be saying I have a sleeping problem, and I don't. It's just I'm just always taking in a lot of stuff and all that. So sometimes I just be tired, and I just didn't get the the rest that I need. I need like really a whole week, so I'm not gonna get there realistically. So I'm gonna be tired. But it's crazy that you say that's all I need. Like I would overindulge and go to sleep.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I had to be up to get over it. And it's crazy because I was up one night and I'm just like, you know what? Let me listen to the song and let me close my eyes. Let me relive it again. But because it's I don't know. This is actually some type of therapy. I don't know. But that's why I did it, because I'm like, okay, I know mentally I can do this myself. Mm-hmm. Because I'm also like very self-reflective. So if I'm always in my head, I'm very sure I can go up there and handle this, because I actually, I live through the actual experience. So I know it's a reason why, it's something I can get out of that. Granted, did need some form of help, and I got that, but it definitely did help, like being up. So that's crazy that you said that.
No, it's crazy that you said you relive. It's crazy that you say that, because I'm looking at my notes and I'm like, okay, the way I cope and process is that I journal a lot and I replay events. And like, I swear all my guests are me, because like literally that's why I love talking to y'all. It's like I'm talking to myself. It's a thing with me where I love to read and grow from those events, because like in the time that it's happening, I'm writing raw emotion. Like like I was telling one of my old friends today, I have a poem coming out later this month. And I usually write these poems when I'm feeling either like extreme feelings. So I gotta be super upset. I gotta be super happy. Like I can't be regular. And that's why sometimes if I don't write it all in that one sitting, it's usually stuck in my drafts until I can feel that same feeling again. Cause I love to give emotion to my people when they read it. Cause I know people read. I know they are. I know they're listening. So it's like, I want to give y'all like the best of me when I can, because I want you to feel what I'm feeling, because that's how I express myself. And like, self-reflection is just so awesome and such a good stress reliever for me personally, because it's like you see how much you have grown as a person and that your mind is changing, you're changing as a person, and like you can literally, like you said earlier, you can use your experiences to help other people, and that's what it's really all about at the end of the day, because it's like it's so many of us hurting out here, bro, and it's like I don't want to have my people hurt alone. Like we could heal together on some stuff.
Right.
I love this, man. I really do. To my second question for this section is, how long did it take for you to feel normal again?
From any given situation, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like you never just feel like normal, because I feel like our people's normal is like that prime in their life. Like the most promised moment, that's where you felt the most normalist, because you felt the most complete. So I just feel like until you get back there, then you never really feel quote unquote normal.
Before you got to that point, did you think that you would ever get to the secure place again? Like, what was your expectation after everything had went down and you had time to self-reflect? Did you feel like you would ever get to that place, like even your pivotal point of your life? Or did you just like, hey, it is what it is, I'm gonna still continue to grow? Or how did you take that?
I like that you said that, because it actually just gave me another point of view on it and how I kind of just messed up what I said. Because you don't want to go back to that place. You want to feel that place again. Because once you feel that feeling of like wholeness, it's a feeling. So it's not necessarily a place you want to go back to. So it's a feeling. So yes, I did feel like because literally that a piece, like kind of a piece of it will stick with you for days. Once you get to that, okay, I realize, XYZ, I understand what I have to do now.
Yeah.
So that definitely does stick with you, but I'm not, it could go away, it could stay, but normal, I don't know. I always feel weird. So honestly, I can't, I'm the wrong person to ask, do you feel normal?
For the extremity of what has happened through the past year and a half, I think for me it was more of I had to get back to that place of before the accident and before the upbringings of past traumas. I had to get back to feeling like Tyesha, because I couldn't step on any, like nothing, like literally nothing to keep going. Like, have you know that little box challenge when people like kind of place the imaginary box, step on it, and then they keep going? I couldn't do that. I couldn't pretend like that wasn't there. So it's like I had to exercise my mind and my faith and my beliefs and everything, and reevaluate everything to actually feel like Tyesha. And then I had to have an actual platform to step on to keep elevating. You know what I mean? So for me, I feel so much better. Maybe because I'm in a better place in my life, like physically and mentally, spiritually, I feel so much better now. And I think it's because I I didn't let the trauma slip past my fingers again. I actually took it by the horns and I dealt with it. I spoke to the people that made me feel like, oh,
yeah.
I heard it in my voice. But I had to really like handle that, because it was like, it made me so sad inside. And like every day, if I'm not crying in the morning, I'm crying at night, I'm being self-destructive, being self-sabotaging. Like I was literally beating myself up because of the things that I couldn't control, and it was hurting me. So it's like, in order to get past this, you got to forgive these people for what has happened, and you got to keep moving on, because without it, they're not hurting. They're not hurt. They're not feeling what I'm feeling. So you really gotta forgive them. You gotta forgive yourself, because if you don't, you're gonna be stuck and you'll never be able to surpass that low point ever. So yeah.
That's real true. That's real true.
Hot. I need a fan. Okay. All right. For my last question for you of the night, what other method aside from the ones that we named for ourselves could people use to enhance the healing stages?
Okay, there are some that I also did not name that I do, like music. That was just one instance. You can really go, as we said, reconnect. And one way that I just feel like humans in general can reconnect in this way is like going on nature walks, going outside and just realizing how beautiful the actual outside world is, outside of the, the world that we live in and the world that we create for ourselves, and that world of trauma. Like, just go outside and look at the clouds, and look at some water, look at, the trees, like, really look at some people too, because sometimes you'll see somebody else like smiling happy and kind of be like, I wonder if they're going through something. And then once you realize that, hey, everybody is going through something. Literally everybody got something going on. No matter how big you may feel it is, that might be like the biggest thing that ever happened to them. So, and it could be something little to you. So like you said, it is going back to, where you can just literally be a lesson and help people, because we are on this earth. And we, some people feel like, I don't have to help, or, XYZ, la, 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 la. But me personally, I feel like we here to do something. We're not just all here to just simply coexist. We are here to coexist and, be friendly, help a hand. Like,
yes.
Why would you want somebody to think if you been there before, you can pick them up?
Mm-hmm. Literally, to create the bonds with you guys is really special to me, because it's like, obviously we don't always talk all the time, but when we do, we have a great time, and we can definitely encourage one another to either, keep your head up, like keep going, you got this type thing. Like I literally love talking to y'all. Like, just off the top of my head, because I talked to you guys today, you in China, love y'all. I absolutely love y'all, because it's like, it doesn't matter what I do, y'all are there to support. And what people don't understand is a simple like, a simple share, a simple anything, like even y'all helping me out with my podcast, that it says so much with y'all characters. Like, y'all gonna be there for me, I'm gonna be there for y'all. Like, and
that's a big thing too, especially on both sides. Be like, oh my gosh, da-da-da-da-da. Like, but and I see that too, because I was talking to her today too, and I'm like, what she asked me made me be like, you know what? Why am I waiting? Why, like, go get it. But I do appreciate that. I appreciate that for real, because when I'm showing love, I'm not doing it just, some people feel like, well, you should show love, you knew them. Like, I'm not doing this because I know y'all. Like, it's something that I see in it. And that's like way bigger than me or bigger than you. You know what I mean? So it's just like anything like that, I support, because you just have to.
Yeah,
and
like y'all genuine, and that's what I like about y'all, because it's like, it's not for clout, it's not for like, oh, what can I get out of it? It's like, it's purely like, it's genuine. Like, I'm gonna support you because I see potential in you. I know the heights that you can reach, and when you don't feel like you can, I'm here to let you know, hey, I'm your cheerleader. I'm here for you. If you want to talk about it, if you need to sit down and create a plan, because I mean, sometimes we all get off on like, we get stuck sometimes, and we don't know who to talk to, where to go, and it's like, look at your peers, bro. Like, we are all out here trying to grind. I can't even think of anybody off the top of my head who's not doing something, whether it has anything to do with art, music, media, sports, like owning their own businesses. Like, everybody's out
gonna
here.
Be there to help you.
Yes. And all you got to do, you cannot think that you're going to get through this stuff by yourself, because I think in America, they're very hung up on independence. And to be honest, it takes a village. Like, I just really have a very strong belief system in the village, because without other people, what do you have? If you don't have people to listen to you or to support your art or whatever you have going on, you're not going to go anywhere for real, because now your only audience is yourself, and you're sitting up there looking confused because you don't want to help nobody else. You don't want to support nobody else. And I don't understand that for the people who think they're going to get abundance back when they never put anything out there to begin with.
Yeah.
Just
I like that right there.
You know, sometimes I be speaking on the microphone, you know. Oh man. But let me go ahead and wrap it up so I can get you on out of here. Some more healing mechanisms. Lean on the people that love you. Lean on the people that support you. They will always like they will literally be there for you. You don't have to worry about that. So if you feeling lonely, just remember that people are there for you. For the people who are like me and have yet to face the root of the issue, go at it face first, full force, all that. Because if you just playing around with the branches, cutting off branches, just know that stuff is going to grow back. Just because you cut it short does not mean the branches won't grow back. You have to go to the root, bro. I mean, you just have to. Also, get your priorities straight. Even if you have to take a day, a week, a month to organize your life and to say, hey, what's actually important to me? Why do I want to do something new? Or why do I want to get away from this trauma? What is making me feel like X, Y, and Z? Sit down with yourself, because sometimes that's what it takes. And my last suggestion is to be patient with yourself and your situation, because sometimes we can be our hardest critic and we can be hard on ourselves. And I mean, I'm a product of it. I sometimes am too hard on myself. And recently I just had to take a step back and like, Tyesha, you good, bro. Like, you good. Just remember, you still moving forward. You not staying stagnant, and you not moving backwards. You are moving forward. So that's the important part of your process. And yeah, so do you have any last parting comments?
I do. And I would use it. I met this woman. She had like 2 children, and we were in Food Depot, me and my mom, before we go to work. She had a cart full of pineapples. I'm like, I wonder what she do. Like, so my mom, you know, we come outside. She asked her, like, what do? You make juice? So she was like, yes, she make juice. And she, you know, went furthermore into explaining why. And another tip, start a business. Also, you can get out of your trauma by starting a business, by helping other people get through the same trauma that you've been through. But, you know, she just telling us why, and she started, and, you know, she told me she has 2 kids. Her kid actually has, you know, some problems, health problems, but she kept him, you know, it's called Jigajoo. And it was really good because just meeting her, she also told me that she was a life coach, and that's something that I aspire to do. So it was like meeting her, literally talking to her, I got chills on me. And it was crazy because she was like, I'm getting chills talking. And it's like, just me knowing that we interconnected on that level of, you know, I went through but my went through. It's the same reason why I hustle. It's the same reason why I'm still waking up in the morning trying to brighten somebody else's day, because I've been through that. That can also help. Like, so that kind of ties in every method within itself by just literally kind of talking to a stranger that you might, you know, you just never know. Like, you just never know. But yeah.
That is amazing. It's crazy what can happen through power of association and like just reaching out to people, even if they are strangers, because it's like, you never know who could like inspire you to do more or to keep going, and it's very powerful. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say on that, because it's weird, because we like, how do you even meet these people? It's just like so random. It's like the energies really just like push you together to like, hey, this is such and such, this is such and such. Oh, hi, nice to meet you. Oh, you're in this too? Me too. It's weird, but
it be like God is telling you to keep going.
Yes, exactly. But as always, I want to thank you for coming out to speak with me about trauma tonight. Whew. It was a very much needed conversation. Like, I feel good. I feel kind of weird, but I hope that this talk helps more people than it, you know, harms. I don't think it will harm anybody, but you never know what it can trigger, as we spoke on before.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, that was Clarence, and I'm Tyesha, and we are out.